There are very few things that taste better than buffalo sauce and fresh mozzarella. Oh. Buffalo chicken pizza. Quite possibly the best pizza you'll ever make at home. Today I'm going to walk you through on how to do it. Buffalo sauce. Let's start out with some cubed butter. Add your cold butter to a cold pan. The reason we like to have it cold is it's going to be easier to emulsify the sauce, going from a low temp and gradually heating up while we're stirring.
Do you want to explain what emulsify is or no?
Emulsify is to make it so water and oil blends together, I think. I can't remember the exact definition, but so emulsify is what keeps the sauce from separating. Let's go with that. Rice vinegar. Sriracha. I know generally this is done with purely Frank's hot sauce, but this is a little concoction I've come up with that isn't as spicy. So you could swap all this out for Frank's if you want it spicier. And our last ingredient, we do add in some Frank's Red Hot. We can go ahead and turn on our heat. Once we get the heat on and the butter starts to melt, we want to constantly be whisking. You can leave it for a few seconds, but for the most part, we want to keep it moving. That's what's going to help get that sauce all mixed up together. Just keep stirring. Trust me, the sauce is worth it. The sauce literally takes less than 5 minutes to make. Once the butter has melted, go ahead and turn the heat off, and your sauce is ready. As always, I like to start my dough ball in a bowl of flour, coat it evenly. That way we don't have to worry about it sticking to our work surface here. Press the dough down the middle, around the edge, make a nice crust. Then I go around and pinch it. And then, when we're feeling good, we're gonna toss. You can even just kind of spread it out with your hands like so. If you get a thin spot like that where you can see through, I just kind of pinch it all up. Because if it's really thin and you can see through it really easily, it's really prone to tearing once it's in the pizza oven. And you don't want that. Okay, let's take our delicious sauce we just made, put it on. I do about 2 spoonfuls. It's a big spoon. Just like that. Now the wind picks up. Fresh mozzarella. You can do this with shredded mozzarella. We do that sometimes too, but I just prefer it with fresh mozzarella. I like the flavor a bit more. And personally, I like to break these pieces of cheese up pretty small. When you leave them big, this is my preference. Sometimes when you take a bite, it just pulls the whole thing of cheese off. So I like to keep them small. This right here is just fine. I actually like to eat it like this most of the time. But if you want to change it up a bit, you can get some thinly sliced red onions. We're going to go half of the pizza with this. And then some little chunks of chicken. I prefer chicken thighs. They're a little fattier, so they don't dry out as much. This is pre-cooked chicken. Don't be throwing raw chicken on here. If you cut it thin enough, you might get by with it, but I don't know. Don't take my word on that. Okay, that thing is ready to go in the oven. Okay, now we do our final stretch where we pull it out to the size of the peel, which would make it a 12-inch pizza. Ooh, okay, come look at this. So we got a little tear in the dough. That's bad because when sauce gets in there, it makes it stick to the pizza stone. Here's a little trick. Take some basil, put it underneath, and you'll be surprised how that works. Let's go ahead and launch. We'll let this puppy cook. For your first turn, I like to make sure and break it up everywhere, break it off the stone so it moves freely, and then go in for your turn.
You turn it like halfway, quarter turn, what do you do?
Yeah, I usually do like a 180 turn. And then, depending on how the crust looks, I'll just try and finish as I go. I'll keep an eye on the crust. The crust. Let's check the undercarriage. Ooh, yeah, look at that undercarriage. See that? Mm-hmm. That is a great undercarriage. We're just watching the crust along here. We want it to get some nice color. For me, that's not enough color. There we go. So I like it to have a little bit of color because that adds extra flavor. And the last part's when you really got to pay attention. Make sure you're getting all the crust. I'd say that is done. Check that out. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of this pizza. Look at this. Crunchy. Oh yeah. Cheese is nice and melted. Look at the undercarriage. You get that? It's starting to drip. Had to move it, sorry. Hopefully you got that. Let's cut into it and give it a try. Here's a slice from our only cheese side. There are very few things that taste better than buffalo sauce and fresh mozzarella. Oh. Now let's go ahead and try one with some chicken and onion. Good. The chicken and onion actually do add a lot of good flavor. One very important step I forgot to do. Fresh basil. This does add some great flavor to it. Normal cheese with just basil. Try a bite. Not only does the basil help with flavor, but you can smell it as you're biting, and it adds flavor that way. It really is good. Buffalo pizza is honestly my favorite pizza. Try it out, see which way you like it more. They're both really good. You gotta try them both. Try them both, and let me know how it goes.